Another kind of problem that can be worked with a system are rate problems. Katie drove part of a 56-mile trip at a rate of 24 miles per hour, but was able to maintain a speed of 30 miles per hour for the rest of the trip. If the entire trip took 2 hours, for how many miles did she drive at each speed? Well, I'm going to make a table for this. So I'm going to draw a table here. And we've got the miles per hour, then times hours is going to be equal to miles. So we can put that in our chart. And we've got the first part of her trip and the second part of her trip. All right, so let's read the information. Katie drove part of a 56-mile trip. So it looks like her entire trip took 56 miles. So these two distances, the first distance plus the second distance, is going to add up. So I'm going to put my totals down here on the bottom at a rate of 24 miles per hour. So she drove part of it at 24, and it's in the miles per hour column, but was able to maintain a 30 mile per hour speed for the rest of the trip. If the entire trip took 2 hours, so not the first part, not the second part, but the entire trip took 2 hours, so I'm going to underline that, entire trip. This is a 56-mile trip. For how many miles did she drive at each speed? Well, what we need to know is for how many hours did she travel. So here I'm going to let X represent the number of hours she traveled at 24 miles per hour, and Y be equal to the number of hours she went at 30 miles per hour. And then we know that if we multiply the 24 times the X, it will give us the number of miles. First column times second column equals the third column. And then 30 times Y is going to give me the distance, the number of miles that she traveled at 30 miles per hour. And we can see our two equations here. The number of hours that she traveled, X plus Y, the first plus the second, is going to be a total of 2 hours. And then 24X plus 30Y is going to be equal to 56, would be our other equation. The number of miles for the first part plus the number of miles for the second is equal to the total number of miles. So underneath here, I'm going to put 24X plus 30Y is equal to 56. And here is my system of equations that I'm going to solve. So this time, let's do it with the addition method. Again, you can use any of the methods. And what I'll do is I'll eliminate the x's. So I'm going to multiply through this row here by negative 24 because I want to have the opposite signs there. So this is going to be a negative 24x minus 24y, and negative 24 times 2 is going to be negative 48. I'm going to copy this line over. So 24x plus 30y is equal to 56. I'm going to add the two together, and I'm going to get 6y is equal to 8. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 6. And I'm going to get y is equal to 8/6, which reduces to 4/3. So 4/3 is going to represent the number of hours that she traveled at 30 miles per hour. So then to figure out what x is, so this is going to be one of them. I'll circle that. And then to figure out what x is, I'll use this x plus y is equal to 2. So if x plus y is 2, I'm going to put my 4/3 in for the y. So x plus 4/3 is equal to 2. And maybe you want to get rid of that fraction and make it a little bit easier, or you could just subtract 4/3. So if I subtracted 4/3 from both sides, I'm going to end up with that x is equal to, and this is going to be a 6/3 minus 4/3 is going to be 2/3 of an hour. So you can see that 2/3 plus 4/3 adds up to 6/3, which is 2 hours. And if we multiplied it out, they would check as well. So let's write our answer in minutes. So 2/3 of an hour would be 40 minutes at, that's my X, so at 24 miles per hour. And 4/3, which is an hour and 20 minutes, at 30 miles per hour. And that's my answer. So again, I'd like for you to try example B and see if you can set it up and come up with a system that looks like this one right here for this example. And I'll be looking at that in class tomorrow.